Hey, what's up? I'm Fanboy Philly, and once again, welcome back to Fanboy Philly Reviews. And today's movie, of course, is John Wick Chapter 4. The latest in the series, and by far the biggest and the longest chapter to date. Rejoining John once again are the Bowery King, Winston, and Sharon, three highly important characters in the world of John Wick. And joining the cast in this installment are the Marquis, played by Bill Skarsgard, who is best known as Pennywise, the dancing clown from the remake of Stephen King's It. Kane, played by martial arts legend Donnie Yen. We also meet the Harbinger, played by Clancy Brown, which I thought was kind of cool because he played Kurgan in the first Highlander movie that also had the Sanctuary where killings couldn't happen, just like with the Continental. And rounding out the new cast of characters are the Tracker, and Shimzu and Akira, as well as the new woman in command of the Ruska Roma, played by Natalia Tina. Yet another face from the Game of Thrones series entering the John Wick series, and that makes 3 by my count. At the beginning of the film, we see John returning to the desert where he kills the Elder of the High Table. After this, we meet the Harbinger that visits the Continental and informs Winston that the Marquis, another high-ranking table member, is on his way, and the Continental is now condemned and will be destroyed. And as Winston is talking with the Marquis, we see the destruction of the hotel, as well as the loss of a favorite character. And we learn that the contract on John is now $20 million, which brings out even more assassins in the chase. The Marquis meets with Kane, the blind assassin, and forces him to join the hunt for John by threatening his daughter. And after this, we see yet another Continental, this one in Osaka, Japan, where we see another manager, Shimzu, and his daughter. And this is also where we meet the Tracker, also known as Mr. Nobody. Another great fight sequence breaks out again in a glass-filled room similar to the scene in Chapter 3. After this, John meets with Winston, who suggests that John issue a challenge for a duel with the Marquis, but that it must be presented through one of the families in the High Table, which takes John back to the Ruska Roma, his home, and his family, who has disowned him. He has to get them to reinstate him back into the fold and get them to issue the challenge, which sets the course for the rest of the movie. The story in this chapter is again compelling and continues to flow straight from beginning to the end. The fighting and the action sequence are again kicked up, showing how they always try to outdo anything they've done before. And I've never seen one person get hit by a car so many times and still get up and walk away like nothing happened to them. We again learn more about the rules and consequences established by the High Table as we see the interaction between the Marquis and Winston as they play the mental chess game as they lay the groundwork for the duel. In the previous movies, we saw what happens when you kill someone's dog. But in this one, we see what happens when you protect and save someone's dog. Not only from the perspective of the owner, but also from the perspective of the dog, as you see the appreciation in the eyes of the dog later in the story. Again, I thought the progression of the story continuing to flow from one chapter to the next was better than any movie has ever done before. However, the ending of the previous movies ended with a setup for the following movie. But you don't get that with this one. But there are reports that we will see a Chapter 5, as well as a spin-off movie called The Ballerina coming out in 2024, as well as the TV series The Continental, currently streaming on Peacock. And the saddest part of the film was when I was looking things up on the movie, was seeing that Lance Reddick, who played Sharon, had passed away around the time of the movie. Sharon was one of my favorite characters in the film. I'm so glad that I spent this week going through the series one after the other without having to wait a year to see the next one. I've always heard that this was one of the best action movies ever, one of the best stories ever in the action world. I can't argue with that. They broke the mold of action films and started over to do their own thing. It was truly a great movie experience that I would suggest to anyone who has not seen the series. Thank you for spending this time with me, and if you enjoyed this video and haven't already done so, please subscribe and hit the like button, and ring the notification bell so you can be notified of my next review, which will be Dungeons & Dragons, Honor Among Thieves. I've been wanting to see this for a while now, so now is the time. I'll see you next time and let you know what I think of Dungeons & Dragons. So, ta-ta for now. See you next time.